pieces. Memories of different men. And I saw it. Your name. Victor Frankenstein.
This is Bob Ferguson. I was a part of the French 75.
Bitch, I felt like Tony Montana!
Steve Lockjaw just attacked my home. And I cannot remember, for the life of my only child, the answer to your question.
Maybe you should have studied the rebellion text a little harder.
I need to find my daughter.
Well, then call us back when you have the time.
You just...
I don't believe in magic. Ghosts, demons. Just power. Somebody please take me.
We gonna kill every last one of you.
It's the most wonderful time of the year for movie lovers. Happy Oscar nomination revelation day, everybody. Welcome to Talking About the Movies as we begin our 21st year of covering the biggest new releases of the weekend. And of course, we're going to do that later this weekend with the two new releases for this weekend, past weekend and this weekend, 28 years later, The Bone Temple and Mercy. But today, we're going to do a special episode covering the Oscar nominations. I haven't looked at the list yet, but I'm already very excited to see one of my favorite movie of the year being making history. Seeing that Sinners is getting a record-breaking 16 nominations. I haven't seen the list yet, so I don't know exactly what that is. I'm assuming it's going to be Best Picture, one of the Best Picture nominees, but very excited to check out the list in general here. And this is kind of the thing I'm doing because I said last week I was going to do my Best or Worst movies of the last 25 years, and I just never got around to doing that, so I figure, I'll give you something else entirely. I'll give you something else, because I probably should have made this its own episode, which I'm doing right now. But you saw the list there of the three most nominated films there. So, like I said, I haven't looked at the list at the time I'm recording this. So that's something I did after I looked at the list. So, with all that said, let's go ahead and take a look at this year's nominees for the 98th for the 98th Academy Awards, I believe. I'm looking at the list here on the Hollywood Reporter, and you're going to see the list on the screen here. And these are my first real earnest reactions to the nominees here. So let's go ahead and just get right to it, shall we? So let's go ahead and get to the big one. Best Picture. And the nominees this year are Begonia, F1. That's not a promising start. Frankenstein, Hamnet, Marty Supreme, One Battle After Another, The Secret Agent, Sentimental Value, Sinners, and Train Dreams. So overall, yeah, the list overall really isn't that shocking in general here. I think the one that I'm most shocked about is the fact that F1 got a nomination, even though I really did not like F1 a lot. But then again, I'm one of the few people that really didn't like that movie a lot. But the rest of the list overall really isn't shocking in general. Sinners is definitely in there, and I do think that and One Battle After Another are the front runners to win the award this year, and I think that's great to see because I love both of those movies in general. Sinners, of course, was my favorite movie of the year. Good list overall here. I haven't seen all the nominees yet. I haven't seen Hamlet yet. I haven't seen Marty Supreme, but of the nominees I see here, I've seen three of them: F1, Sinners, and One Battle After Another. Of course, Sinners and One Battle After Another are the best ones in my personal opinion so far, but I'll have time to watch the other ones later on down the road here. So, is there anything about this list that really kind of shocks me about that's not in here? I don't think so. I think everything that most people were expecting to be in there is in there. So, no real surprises in the Best Picture nominees. So, with that said, let's go ahead and move on to the next one, and I believe that is Best Director, and the nominees are... Well, again, I think Weapons kind of not being in there is kind of a shock, because I thought that would be in there easily, so maybe there's that. But Best Director, the nominees are Chloe Zhao for Hamlet, Josh Safdie for Marty Supreme, Paul Thomas Anderson for One Battle After Another, Joachim Trier for Sentimental Value, and Ryan Coogler for Sinners. And again, I kind of thought Zach Cregger would be in there for Weapons, since that was a big hit this year. But again, no real surprises here whatsoever. Paul Thomas Anderson, I think if he doesn't win the Best Picture for One Battle After Another, I think he's going to lock down Best Director. I think that's something where either him or Ryan Coogler, because he might also be nominated for Best Screenplay too. They might give him that award too. But yeah, no real surprises yet. Best Actor, Timothée Chalamet and Marty Supreme, his second time in the last couple of years being nominated, because he was nominated last year for playing Bob Dylan in Complete Unknown. Leonardo DiCaprio in One Battle After Another. Ethan Hawke in Blue Moon. Michael B. Jordan in Sinners. Glad to see that. Wagner Moura in The Secret Agent. And a couple of surprises here. I'm kind of surprised Dwayne Johnson isn't in there, because I thought he would be a lock for The Smashing Machine. And most notably, I was kind of shocked to see that... maybe not shocked, but I thought Jeremy Allen White and Springsteen Deliver Me From Nowhere probably would get a nomination, because he was touted as being one of those ones that could be easily a contender for that category in general. But yeah, no real surprises in here. Michael B. Jordan being in there, I think is pretty cool. I think it's pretty great. I think he's more than deserved the nomination, and it could really go to any person here, because I think a lot of people in this list here are really capable of winning that award, and I would love to see Michael B. Jordan do it. I would love to see Leonardo DiCaprio get a second Oscar, or Timothée Chalamet get his first one. I haven't seen The Secret Agent yet. I haven't seen Blue Moon or Marty Supreme, so I can't really say about the other nominees in general just yet. But okay, moving on to Best Actress, we have Jessie Buckley in Hamnet. Kind of a shocker here, and I'm glad to see this. Rose Byrne in If I Had Legs, I'd Kick You. Kate Hudson getting her first Oscar nomination in 25 years since her first one for Almost Famous, Song Sung Blue. Renata Rainsby, I think I'm pronouncing that name correctly, in Sentimental Value, and Emma Stone in Begonia. And Emma Stone broke an Oscar nominations record for this one. She actually became the first person to be nominated for Best Actress, and also she's also one of the producers on here for the Best Picture category. She actually becomes the second youngest person and the youngest woman in Oscar history to achieve 7 nominations. Only Walt Disney was younger when he reached that tally. It's 1936 at 34. Emma Stone was 37, and Meryl Streep has held that record since, because she was 38 when she was nominated for the 7th time back in 1988. And she also became the first woman to be nominated twice for producing and acting in a single film. Frances McDormand was the first with Nomadland, and Stone got dual nominations for Poor Things as well, and of course she won the Oscar for Best Actress there. So yeah, that's actually pretty cool of her. But the big shocker is that Rose Byrne made it in there for a film that I thought was going to get kind of pushed off to the side, and I wanted to see it. If I Had Legs, I'd Kick You, and I saw that she won the Golden Globe Award, and that was pretty cool to see that. I thought, okay, she won that. Probably won't get any to be heavily considered for the Best Actress Oscar, but she might have a chance to upset Jessie Buckley, because Jessie Buckley's seen as the front runner right now. Like, I'd be really happy to see Rose Byrne win an Oscar, because I've always liked her as an actress. I think she's very good as a dramatic actress and also a comedic actress, and I think that'd be pretty cool to see that on Oscar night. And again, Kate Hudson getting a nomination after so many years of kind of being pushed off to the side to these lazy romantic comedies. I like that she's back in the forefront again after her breakout role in Almost Famous 25 years ago. So that's great to see her in there. Best Supporting Actor. The nominees are Benicio del Toro in One Battle After Another, Jacob Elordi for Frankenstein, Delroy Lindo in Sinners, that's awesome, Sean Penn in One Battle After Another, and Stellan Skarsgård in Sentimental Value. A couple nominations for One Battle After Another, but I'm glad to see Delroy Lindo getting some Oscar recognition. He was really good in Sinners. I haven't seen Frankenstein yet. I haven't seen Sentimental Value, so I can't really say that for certain. But Stellan Skarsgård is a great actor. He's probably the front runner to win that one, since he hasn't won in a long time. So, and Best Supporting Actress, the nominees are Ellie Fanning for Sentimental Value, Inga Ibsdottir Lilas, I think I'm pronouncing that correctly, for Sentimental Value, Amy Madigan in Weapons, Rooney Musaka in Sinners, and Teyana Taylor in One Battle After Another. Something I noticed on here, Ariana Grande and Cynthia Erivo did not get nominations for Wicked for Good, even though they were nominated last year. In fact, I've not seen Wicked for Good anywhere here, so that's kind of a shocker that none of them made the list here. But Ellie Fanning, Amy Madigan, I think is probably one of the top contenders for that award. If not her, then Teyana Taylor is. Two really solid performances overall. in those movies, and I think that either one of those would be really great to see. I'm also glad to see that somebody like Wumi Musaka, who hasn't really gotten a whole lot of recognition before Sinners came out, is actually getting some recognition this year too. So that's pretty cool. And yeah, it's cool to see Sinners getting the love here, because I really thought that Sinners would be that movie that was a big hit earlier in the year and then, you know, kind of get pushed off to the side. Because that's what the Oscars used to do back in the day. That, you know, if you opened your movie before September, you were pretty much an anomaly to the Oscars. You didn't matter to any of them. But I'm so glad that it's changed. And I'm glad to see that Sinners is getting some love and respect. But if I had to pick a frontrunner for this one here, I'd probably say Amy Madigan's the frontrunner, because she was so good in Sinners, Weapons, and she was the big breakout star of that movie. So I'm really looking forward to seeing. That's probably the best overall category overall here. Is a lot of these nominees could be winners in that one. And could be really good ones but I think Amy Madigan's going to be the front runner for that category. So those are all the acting nominations. Now let's get to Best Adapted Screenplay. Begonia by Will Tracy, Frankenstein by Guillermo del Toro, Hamnet by Chloe Zhao and Maggie O'Farrell, One Battle After Another by Paul Thomas Anderson, and Train Dreams by Clint Bentley and Greg Quater. Again, kind of glad to see One Battle After Another getting in there. And I think that's going to be the one that Paul Thomas Anderson is a lock for. Like, if he wins that, he probably isn't going to win Best Picture or Best Director. I think that's going to go to Sinners. But you never know. It could change around here. But I think that's probably a lock for him to get that award. Best Original Screenplay. The nominees are Blue Moon, written by Robert Kaplow. It Was Just an Accident, written by Jafar Panahi. Script collaborators Nadir Severe, Shadmir Rastin, Mehdi Mahmoudin. I think I'm pronouncing those names correctly. Excuse me. Marty Supreme, Ronald Bronstein and Josh Shady. Sentimental Value, Eskil Vogt and Joachim Trier. And Sinners, written by Ryan Coogler. And Sinners, of course, probably my favorite movie of the year, so I would be glad to see that winning Best Original Screenplay. But I feel like if that wins Original Screenplay, probably will likely mean it won't win Best Picture, but you never know, because the original screenplay is usually the one they give the hip hop movie of the year to, because that was the Pulp Fiction award. Quentin Tarantino's won a number of those awards, so yeah, so if Sinners probably wins that one, that's probably not a good sign for it for Best Picture, or maybe it isn't. We'll see we will see what happens on Oscar night. Best Animated Feature. The nominees are Arco, Elio, which I'm glad to see that after it got unfairly became a flop in the year, because I thought that movie was so good. It was actually a movie that Disney, and when people want an original animated movie, they have Elio right there, and they're just like, I'm not gonna go see that. Just like, fuck you, man. But Arco, Elio, K-pop Demon Hunters, Little Amelie, and the character of Rain, and Zootopia 2. Zootopia 2, not really much of a shocker in there. This one's probably going to be the K-pop Demon Hunters Oscar winner. I think that one's going to win the Oscar for this one here. Of course, it's the big hit of the year. And, I still haven't seen it yet. I'm shocked I haven't gotten around to it yet. I'm going to get around to it before Oscar time. I promise you that. But, yeah, I am glad to see Elio did make the final list here. It deserved to be nominated. It deserved much more respect than it got when it first came out. Best International Feature. The nominees are from Brazil, The Secret Agent. From France, It Was Just an Accident. From Norway, Sentimental Value. From Spain, Surat. And from Tunisia, The Voice of Hin Rajab. And I think this is going to be the one the Secret Agent or Sentimental Value wins the Oscar for that. Best Documentary Feature. The Alabama Solution. Come See Me in the Good Light. Cutting Through Rocks. Mr. Nobody Against Putin. The Perfect Neighbor. I haven't seen any of these, so I can't really tell you how I feel about that particular award. Best Animated Short. Butterfly, The Girl Who Cried Pearls, Retirement Plan, and The Three Sisters. Again, haven't seen them, so I can't really say it for certain. Now, here's the newest category this year, Best Casting. And the nominees are Hamnet, Nina Gold, Marty Supreme, Jennifer Venditti, One Battle After Another, Cassandra Kulakundis, The Secret Agent, Gabriel Dominguez, and Sinners, Francine Maisler. And that's the first category this year for the Best Casting category, and good choices all around there. A lot of good choices are there. Of course, Sinners is in there, One Battle After Another, so take that for what you will. Best Cinematography. Frankenstein, Dan Laustin, Marty Supreme, Darius Khondji, One Battle After Another, Michael Bauman, Sinners, Autumn David Archipel, and Train Dreams, Adolfo Veloso. A lot of good choices in there. Probably my pick would be either One Battle After Another, and Sinners. But again, I haven't seen Frankenstein, Marty Supreme, or Train Dreams yet. But I think Sinners probably would be a lock for that one, because the cinematography of that movie was so damn good. Best costume design. Here's another one Sinners I think is the lock for. Avatar Fire and Ash, Deborah L. Scott. Frankenstein, Kate Hawley. Hamnet, Malgosia Tozanska. Marty Supreme, Bianca Bellizzi, and Sinners, Ruth E. Carter. And I mean, if you're gonna, one of the great things about Sinners is the way it looks and the way everybody is dressed in period pieces. And Ruth E. Carter is a great costume designer. She does a lot with the Black Panther movies, and I mean, I think that's a lock right there for her in that category. And again, I'm shocked Wicked for Good is not showing up on here. I thought it would have been easily a nomination in some of these categories, but nothing is showing up on these ones. But best documentary short. All the Empty Rooms, Only with a Camera, The Life and Death of Brett Renard, Children No More, War and Our God, The Devil is Busy, and Perfectly Estranged. Second Sight, that's the company Second Sight Pictures. Again, haven't seen any of these, so I can't really say for certain if these are any good or not. Best Film Editing. F1, Stephen Moran, Marty Supreme, Ronald Bernstein and Josh Safdie, One Battle After Another, Andy Jurgensen, Sentimental Value, Olivier Bouguet-Coute, again, probably pronouncing that name incorrectly. Sinners, Michael P. Shaw. I cannot say these names today. It's early for me. I mean, I just woke up about 20 minutes ago, so. Michael P. Shaver. I don't even know why I had trouble pronouncing that name. It's early. Like I said, it's early for me. Bear with me. Best Live Action Short, Butcher Stain, A Friend of Dorothy. Jane Austen's period drama, The Singers, Two People Exchanging Saliva. Best Makeup and Hairstyling, Frankenstein, Kokuhu, I have no idea what that movie is, Sinners, The Smashing Machine, and The Ugly Stepsister. And there's the first time we're seeing The Smashing Machine on here. I thought Dwayne Johnson would be a lock for the Best Actor award, but no, not so much this time around. Best Original Score, Begonia Jerskin Frederick, Frankenstein, Alexander Desplat, Hamnet, Max Richter, One Battle After Another, Johnny Greenwood, and Sinners, Ludwig Göransson. Another one I think Sinners is a lock for. Best Original Song. Now, this could be a really good list here, but of course you got to have your yearly Diane Warren song here. Dear Me from Diane Warren, Relentless. Golden from K-Pop Demon Hunters. I Lied to You from Sinners. Sweet Dreams of Joy from Viva Verity. And Train Dreams from Train Dreams. And again, K-Pop Demon Hunters, I think that's a lock to win that one. Although I Lied to You from Sinners is the second option for that one. That's for certain. Best Production Design. Frankenstein, Hamnet, Marty Supreme, One Battle After Another, Sinners. I mean, those are the ones that we're seeing a lot of the same of. Frankenstein, Hamnet, Marty Supreme, One Battle After Another, and Sinners. You're not seeing a lot of the other ones that I thought could have easily been in that list. Like I said, for good. But yeah, it just goes to show you that those are the 5 main films that a lot of people have been talking about this year as Oscar contenders, and it certainly is showing it right now. How many more do we got here? 2 more. Best Sound. F1, Frankenstein, One Battle After Another, Sinners, again, there we go, same 3 movies, and Surat. And then finally, we have Best Visual Effects. Avatar Fire and Ash, F1, Jurassic World Rebirth, The Lost Bus, and Sinners. So yeah, there you go. That's all the nominations for this year, and I gotta say, man, a lot of familiarity all across the board. No real big surprises, but except the fact that one of the big ones is that Wicked for Good was not in there. In fact, let me take a look at Deadline's list, because they usually have a list of Oscar substance surprises and see if there's one that I'm kind of surprised is left out there. Yeah, they talked about Ariana Grande not being in there. Guillermo del Toro is not in there for Best Director. The Smashing Machine was seen as kind of a big thing. Was seen as kind of the big thing as a contender for Dwayne Johnson in general, but unfortunately that was not the case. Chase Infinity, the big breakout star of One Battle After Another, is not in there. Paul Mescal from Hamnet, No Other Choices is in there. I didn't even is they're saying Miley Cyrus, who wrote the song "Dream Is One" for Avatar: Fire and Ash, which didn't get a song nomination, which really is kind of like. I mean, the song in that movie wasn't that great, but then again, that movie wasn't that great either. Joel Edgerton's Train Dreams, he did not get a nomination this year. Neither did Tessa Thompson for Hedda. And then surprises, they say F1, which, yeah, that's kind of a shocker that that's in there. Stellan Skarsgård to be in Delroy Lindo, and you know, those are two good surprises. And the casting category, near perfect, really, when you really look at it with the list with the nominees in there. So, again, I can't really say for certain what my picks for those would be just yet, because I'm just looking at the list now. But Sinners looks like it's going to clean up at the Oscars this year, and I hope it does, because it is my favorite movie of the year. And the Oscars are finally learning their lesson to pick the best movies, the movies that stand out the most of the year. And Sinners was definitely one of the highlights of the year for certain, the biggest highlight for me personally. And yeah, I'm really glad to see that it got 16 nominations, and it just really looks like it's going to clean up this year. And hopefully that is a good sign that that's going to be the case. So yeah. Overall, yeah, I'm really confident. I'm really excited about the list in general. I think I like a lot of what they did here, and yeah, I am most looking forward to seeing how this is going to pan out when the Oscars are held on. I think it's March 15th this year, if I'm not mistaken. Is that? Let me see. Hope you enjoyed this dead air, by the way. Yeah, March 15th. So yeah, definitely going to look forward to that. Conan O'Brien's going to be hosting again, so that should be a ton of fun to watch again. And I know what you're thinking out there, for maybe not. What about the Reviewing Network Awards? When are you going to put the nominations out for those? It's going to happen the same weekend as the Oscars. It's going to be what we usually do it, the Saturday before the big show on March 14th. But I'm going to have the nominations out after the Super Bowl. I've got other things I got to work on doing, especially the Sunday night NFL rewatch, since we're doing the NFC Championship game this weekend, and then 2 weeks from now I'm going to be doing the Super Bowl. So the Reviewing Network Award nominations are going to be coming out on the Sunday after the Super Bowl. So I'll probably reveal them during the Reviewing Network Live. So they are coming. But I have a lot of other things I got to get to here, and time is really not a fact. Time is a factor for me around this time period. So yeah, it's going to take a little bit for me to actually get to those the nominations, but they are coming. They are going to come after the Super Bowl, so stay tuned for those. But with all that said, thank you so much for joining me on this, and I will see you guys later this weekend as I go see 28 Years Later, The Bone Temple and Mercy for the first movie reviews of 2026. If you like what you saw here and want to see more videos like this, check out my list of the worst movies of 2025, as well as our playlist. Hit the like button, subscribe button, notification button, and I gotta get ready to start my day here. So until the next time I see you, I will see you guys later on this weekend. So until then, thanks for watching. See you next time. Take care.